The far right is on the rise all over Europe.
Probably, like me, a little bit controversial, but that's okay.
Légal et illégal n'est plus tenable.
Fascists were waving the Imperial German flag in place of the banned swastika.
Since 1997, every year in February, neo-Nazi groups from all over Europe gather in Budapest for the so-called Day of Honor. And during the event, SS uniforms and Nazi symbols are displayed with impunity. Orban's government not only tolerates such an event, but allegedly supports it indirectly through public funding. Every year, there is also an anti-fascist counter-demonstration. While the fascists walk through the streets unharmed, anti-fascism is criminalized. In February 2023, several anti-fascists were arrested in Budapest and others searched across Europe. One of the arrested is now a member of the European Parliament, Ilaria Salis.
Dear colleagues, I know Hungary from its darkest place, from prison. For 15 months, I was held in degrading conditions at a detention center in Budapest. I was forced to spend 23 hours a day in a decrepit cells infested with insects and bedbugs, without access to a proper diet. I endured treatment unworthy of human being, such as isolation, denial of basic hygiene, and the complete absence of emotional contact. Such a long pre-trial detention served not to ensure justice, but to break my will and fabricate a confession. But I resisted, and thanks to the solidarity of thousands of democratic and anti-fascist citizens, I was elected to the European Parliament.
The German non-binary anti-fascist Maja T has now been imprisoned in Budapest for nearly a year under similar horrific conditions and detained in a country that, in addition, does not recognize Maja's non-binary identity. The Federal Constitutional Court stated that the extradition to Hungary by the German government was illegal.
When the trial against me began, I was brought before the judge in chains, bound hand and foot, and held on a leash by prison guards dressed in paramilitary uniforms and their faces covered by black baklavas.
This treatment is not just degrading, it is a direct attack on fair trials and the presumption of innocence. Even the European Commission agrees. Ilaria's case and Maja's case expose the same brutal pattern: no independence in Hungary's courts, leading to injustice. And it's no accident. As the European Commission pointed out, political interference in judges' work is routine here. The Hungarian approach seems to be designed to wear defendants down, forcing them into agreeing to a dirty deal. Maja's deal would mean 14 years in prison, or without the dirty deal, up to 24 years in prison.
These trials are held in a climate of fear and intimidation. For Orban's government, it's not about justice. It's about internal propaganda. It's about showing strength against anti-fascists and political opponents, declaring people guilty before any verdict. But it doesn't stop here. By doing this, the government is actively encouraging the most violent fringes of the far right. In my case, neo-Nazis threatened to teach me a lesson. At one of Maja's hearings, a group of neo-Nazis gathered outside the courthouse filmed Maja's supporter, trying to scare them off. They even obtained names, probably from the court itself, and claimed to have shared them with neo-Nazi networks in Europe. This is no longer just a trial. The courtroom has become a political battleground, where state complicity and fascist violence work hand in hand.
Said, a 20-year-old Syrian, faces a similar fate of being extradited to Hungary. His refugee status places him at greater risk of facing inhumane treatment in prison. The assurance of a fair trial in Germany must apply to Said just as it would to any German citizen. In Italy, the Milan Court of Appeal ruled that Gabriele M., an anti-fascist facing trial in Hungary, will not be extradited. The court's decision was based on concerns over potential violations of fundamental rights in Hungarian prisons. In France, the court stopped the extradition of Giorno, an anti-fascist accused of the same thing based on the inadequate prison conditions in Hungary and the risk of violations of the right to a fair trial in impartiality. Germany must follow this example. No extraditions to Hungary anymore and bring Maja back home.
Public awareness and sustained pressure are now essential, just as they were in my case in Italy. The fight for justice is far from over, and it's up to all of us to ensure that anti-fascists are not left alone to face Hungary's repression. There are many things we all can do. Talk to our friends and family about how anti-fascism is being criminalized in Hungary. Write letters to imprisoned anti-fascists to break their isolation. Connect with local support groups and join ongoing solidarity efforts. Make a donation or organize a fundraiser to help cover legal expenses. Sign the petition to bring Maja back home.
Time to stand together against neo-Nazis, against authoritarianism, and for justice and the rule of law.
Solidarity with all anti-fascists and democratic dissidents prosecuted by Orban's regime. You're not alone. We stand with you.
Stay strong, Maja. We are with you. Free all Antifas.